Hey, Jeff Larch, owner and operator of River Valley Fishing and Tours, 2021 Wally Marshall Classic $100,000 invitation, or $250,000 invitational winner. Won the $100,000 jackpot, and just kind of wanted to go over the setup on my boat and what I'd done to get out there and get a win with me and my partner, and just kind of give you a rundown on everything here. And I guess we can start in the front of the boat, obviously, with our electronics, and show you guys kind of the setup that I like to run. All right, guys, so we'll start out first thing with on my setup on the front of my boat here with my electronics. I run all Garmin units for the most part on my boat, but in the front I've got Garmin up here. So what I'm running is two 1222 units. These are very user-friendly units, and that's kind of one of my selling points with them, is it's just easy for me to access all the menus and stuff really easily, quick, and don't have to go into a whole lot of problems. But other than that, I'm running a Striker 7 unit up here, one of their more entry-level units. This is basically just a GPS to help me log my waypoints, so if I find something that's good, I can go right back to it real easily. So I'm running forward view on this top 1222, which is your standard live scope setting, and on the bottom here I'm actually running perspective mode. And if you look on my trolling motor, you can see that I have a forward view transducer and I have a perspective mode transducer right above it. And what that allows me to do is to cover more water easier without having to do a lot of panning and stuff like that, so I can locate structure easier, open water roaming fish easier, and just basically, I mean, in 150 field of view in front of my boat, I'm covering tons of water, and burning it down faster. It's just more efficient for me. The next thing in line outside of that is going to be the Beatdown Outdoors Ultimate. This is a super awesome deal, and if you notice, all these units are sideways. Really cool feature of this mount is that you can turn it whichever way you want. So when I'm running, I have them turned sideways. I don't have these big units cranked over in normal position blocking my view. It's safer. It's a really, really awesome feature to have. But I'll go ahead and show you that this thing will extend up, rocks over into position, and now I'm fishing with this thing up at a nice level, so that when I'm right here, I don't have near as much neck fatigue. It's all right here where it's easy to reach, no problem. So if I want to mark something, I can just simply mark it and go on about it. It's easy to drop and take off again. So electronics wise, outside of that, you notice that I have a twin trolling motor set up on the back of my boat. This twin trolling motor setup I have on the back of my boat acts as brakes. This gives me ultimate boat control, which is a huge deal in live scope fishing. Boat control is everything. If you don't have boat control, you're going to struggle with live scope. And with having this on here, I'm not drifting over fish. I'm able to stop at an easier distance and not spook fish, which is going to put more in my box. That's operated by a simple button that I have up here on the front. And all they are is brakes. As I'm approaching something I know I need to stop, I simply take my foot, push down on the button. They engage, I can stop. If I get too close to a fish, I can turn them on, I can get back off of him. It just makes life a lot more comfortable. But stepping down into the next set of electronics that I have, if you notice, I have 3 units on my console here. We'll start out with the first one being a 1022. This is nothing more than a map unit for me. This is what's going to show me creek channels, navigation points, even waypoints that I found while I'm side scanning and stuff. This is a super key component of me going to a new lake and breaking down water right here. I can sit in the driveway, pull up the lake that I'm going to fish, and go through several different settings on it, and really kind of figure out some key points before I ever leave the house. And then once I find them, I can log those in, and now I can go straight to the lake and pull right up on them and fish. Next in line is going to be my Humminbird Helix 12. This is a Gen 4 mega side imaging. This is absolutely phenomenal equipment right here. This helps me cut water down so much faster than getting on the front of the boat and trying to actually just trolling motor and live scope everywhere I go. The next one in line is another Striker unit, which is one of their more entry-level units, but I use this one for down scan, and it also has a feature on it that allows you to quick contour draw maps. So what happens with that is if I turn that to a record mode on a lake that, say, doesn't have a high detailed map that already comes on this, I go to an area that looks like it may have fish, need to find a creek channel, depressions, anything like that, I can turn this on record, and while I'm side scanning, this will build an actual map of the bottom itself, and it gives me a really high detailed map of exactly what it recorded, so I have a better idea of the lay of the land under the water so I can fish it more proficiently. Outside of that, that's my electronic setup. In tournaments, you know, obviously we run a big ice chest here. This is a 78 quart ice chest. We run Bub's Daddy stones, which is a little dirty right now. This is a micro diffuser stone that gives us a good fizz, keeps our fish alive. This is our entire cull system. One of the most important things we have in the boat right here, we're running that on a standard aerator, and we don't have problems with losing fish. But 78 quarts, I would say, is probably a minimum for you guys that are interested in having a live well on your boat that's going to keep fish alive. So on to the next thing. So over on this side of the boat, we're running some Drift Master, rod racks. This keeps my poles nice and organized because if you notice, we keep a ton of different setups on these. If I need to reach and grab another pole, I turn right around, it's right here, I can get it, it's not tangled up, it's not an issue. They're not getting in the way, getting bounced on anything hard and worrying about putting fatigue in my rods and breaking. I have a second rack here that's gonna hold my smaller rods. It's also a handy place to hang your pliers, your scales, everything else. We try to be efficient in the boat, have as much room as we can. It helps us do our job on the water a little bit better. Obviously a dual seat setup on the front. Outside of that, guys, it's a pretty standard boat. We're running an Express X18 with a 150 Yamaha show on it. This is a super awesome little boat for getting around in some tighter places and having really good boat control. But all in all, this is the setup that I use to, capitalize and win this tournament. And I hope it helps you guys out on the water and become better fishermen. And any questions you have, you can get a hold of me or you can get a hold of the guys at the Crappie Connection, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions y'all have about it.